Hey everyone, Corey here from Existential Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you an unboxing and first impressions of the Ink Witch Tarot by Eric Millet. This is a Kickstarter that just came in a couple of days ago. I backed it, I want to say in fall 2023. I can't quite remember exactly the time because what is time? But I do remember it being a pretty short Kickstarter experience, which I love, not having to wait too long because I can be very impatient. But I did patiently wait to unbox this until now. So let's do it. Um, so this deck this is the second edition of the Ink Witch Tarot. The original first edition was printed in 2020. From what I understand, this has been a really well-loved deck in the tarot community. I would say for me, I more recently heard about it through, other folks on TarotTube. So when it did come up on Kickstarter, I was pretty excited to check it out. Love the packaging. I love unboxing, especially Kickstarters. It feels like a lot of attention to detail goes into packing up these special little packages. So I love the tissue paper. It's all very protected and safe in here. So I backed the tier with the deck with all the extras. So I think that comes with the deck and a couple expansion packs and the guidebook. So here's the deck. And we'll obviously get into everything. Nice little business card from Eric there. And then we have the expansion packs, the first expansion and the second expansion. Cool. And we have, an art card. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. Signed by Eric. Cool. Thank you for supporting my work. I hope you enjoy this art print as an extra special token of my appreciation. I do. I mean, I will. I will enjoy this. Thank you, Eric. I'm saying that like Eric's going to be watching this. This is only my third video, so the chances of that happening are slim, but that's fine. Still, thank you. And the Ink Witch Companion, second edition. So there have been updates to both the deck and the book, from what I understand. Ooh, oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, so let's get that box out of the way. So having a quick look at the book first. It's paperback. It's a 5x8 book, 200 pages. There are color images, which is lovely. The difference between from what I understand, the first edition and the second edition is that the second edition includes all of the extra cards that are included with the expansion packs and the updated artwork from this deck, because some of the images have been completely redrawn from what I've read in the Kickstarter. So this looks like a really nice book to dig into. Lots of really good information. Oh yeah, very cool. Awesome. Okay, so we might read a passage from that a little bit later. Let's get into the deck. So I'm just going to off camera here slice that plastic open here. Remove that. So one of the changes that Eric made to this deck compared to the first edition is the packaging. So I think from the walkthroughs that I've seen of the first edition, is in a tuck box, and this is a magnetic clamshell box. That is really, really nice. it feels really like sturdy. Um, it's got a glossy finish. It just feels like really quality. Um, and it opens all the way up. Inside of the box is beautiful. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's see. Okay, we've got our little, oh yeah, this is for folks who didn't purchase the guidebook or even just, taking the deck around without the book. The deck does have a little booklet now of keywords. This didn't come with the first edition, I don't think. So that's a nice little accompaniment if that's something that you would find useful. I'm not sure. I don't usually go for like the little white book when I'm reading. I prefer to dig into like the meatier guidebooks if I'm going to be referencing something. But this is still lovely to have. Um, look at the cat on the Fool. If you've checked out my other videos, I have 2 other videos so far. I am very new on YouTube, but one of them is my cat deck collection. So I will certainly ogle over any cat I come across, literally in any deck. So um, just as a fair warning, but got that little plastic on there. Let's set the box aside for a minute. Maybe put it over there. And let's just do a little flip through because I have watched some walkthroughs, not really with a lot of intention, to be honest. Like before backing the deck, I had heard about it, and so I just glanced at a couple of walkthroughs, and I didn't watch every card or go through every card because I do like being surprised. And also, this deck does have a lot of updated artwork, so this will be a true first impressions for most of these cards. So um, let's go through it. We won't spend too much time, but let's just see what we have. So we've got the Fool, this cat who is very interested in getting into this bird cage where this bird is not into it. They're about to fall off of the ledge here. So there's quite a bit of danger ahead. Nobody really seems to be noticing that they're all about to crash down off of this ledge. And what I imagine happening is if the cage falls, the door will probably come open and the bird might escape. That's what I'm picturing might happen, and the cat will, have to work a little bit harder for that prey or that meal or whatever the cat was planning to do with that bird. I don't know, but anyway, a little some I don't know. I'm excited to look at the guidebook, and one thing that is really appealing to me about the guidebook that Eric mentioned in the Kickstarter is that not only does it give interpretations of the cards, but it also provides some of the thought process behind the artwork. So, we're all gonna have our own first impressions and ideas of what certain things might mean. But I love that Eric provides that in the book too. So anyway, that's the Fool. We have the Magician, beautiful owl with all the suits present. The Lamnisket, they're carrying this key. Beautiful. The High Priestess has a chess piece. That's neat. I'm imagining this as the High Priestess. And to be honest, don't know chess well enough to know which. Is that Yeah, I'll have to look that up to know what this chess piece is called and its significance, because I won't even begin to pretend or try to pretend that I know chess, because I don't. Very cool game though, and this card I imagine is very aligned with the High Priestess meaning. The Empress, I am loving the color palette, this really muted grays, sepia tones. This is all traditionally drawn. I think that's what Eric calls it. So hand drawn. And it really has that hand drawn aesthetic. I think that's very intentional here. And it's all ink and watercolor, which is just, it's beautiful. It's simple, but also complex in its own way. And yeah, like I said, the palette is beautiful. The Emperor. I like the contrast of the colors between these two. Notice that right away, the sky being this lighter, softer tone, and then the sky here being more like it deserty, dry, hot. Even the landscapes, you can get the feeling between like the that harvest, that growth, that nurturing, and this like barren vibe of the Emperor comes through well. The Hierophant, got the crossed keys, the image very like stained glass church window vibe, which fits with that. The Hierophant. The Lovers. Okay, and I think this will be, I think there's how many? 4 different depictions of the lovers. This is amazing. This is one of the things that really excited me about the deck, is that I think it's the lovers and the devil both have 4 different options for people to choose which one feels like it resonates for them the most. I so appreciate that in the lovers card in any deck, because that, you know, as a queer person myself, that traditional image of the man and the woman doesn't always land for me. You know, it does, it feels very heteronormative, and I can still work with that imagery, but being able to see, you know, lovers more through that queer lens is awesome. Both of these images are beautiful. I would be happy to have either of them in the deck. Maybe I'll have both, and then we have 2 that are non-human even. So this one feels more like the most gendered of the 4 to me, because um, one of these, are they elk, deer? The what is a female deer called? A fawn? No. Anyway, whatever. We're not here for species identification, so that's fine. A female and a male, that's what I'm getting from that. So this is sort of, this to me would be the more gendered card of the 3, and then this one almost feels like a completely gender neutral. So we have more masculine representation, more feminine representation, that binary representation, and then the non-binary, which is great. I love this. This is awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe I'll mix and match and swap them out sometimes. I'm not sure. But I'm excited about that. And we have the Chariot. There's more cats. Always a fan of more cats. Definitely get that, you know, that vibe of like going somewhere. It doesn't look like there's movement yet. And we've got like the black cat and the white cat representing some duality, some, you know, road that's already been traversed, some city landscape. I could almost see these birds as being distractions, especially for the cats. Yeah, can work with that. I like that. This is where we're seeing, I think maybe for the first time, like a more modern card. So there is, you know, this deck is inspired by some ancient mythology, some European folklore. There's some Arthurian legend aspects, pagan witch vibes, and then and this is coming from the Kickstarter read up by Eric that I recall reading about this, and then a touch of the modern world. So that's so far coming through as like a good mix of all of those. And then we have strength. Oh, interesting. That's powerful. So there's this being offering flowers in the ends of these rifles being held by what I imagine, well, they look like military people. Um, that's a very powerful depiction of strength, of like that, almost like that fearless activist just standing up and offering peace and offering, that feels almost like an elixir to the violence or something like that. Like, here's my offering. And they feel so disarmed up against these people that are literally pointing weapons at them. Um, yeah, that's powerful. I love that. The Hermit. Aw, I love the Hermit in most decks. The Hermit resonates. The Hermit energy resonates for me a lot. And, the Hermit crab as a representation of that is excellent. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And this would be spindling yarn, perhaps. um, and we've got like the various stages of doing that. So the spinning, or the weaving, the wrapping it around the spool, the cutting, and it's like it's all happening at one stage or another, and there's different hands involved. Just really showing that like wheel turning and all the different aspects that happen along the way, and that it's cyclical. You can't do this without this, and you can't do that without that. I don't know, just it's a good symbol, or good symbolism around like the cyclical nature of things. Justice. Beautiful. I'm trying to read what these signs back here say. Can't quite make it out. It feels like activism though, and I'm really enjoying, this is like the second card on the deck so far that really gives me like that activism energy, which resonates for me and is an important energy for me in my own life. And this is sort of like, justice, demanding justice for all of these things that we are fighting for and showing up for, and just really wanting and needing justice, and really, yeah, demanding it. I love that. I'm loving this deck so far. I'm so glad I didn't really go through the whole thing, in a walkthrough before, because I'm just like excited to be looking at these with pretty fresh perspective. The Hanged Man. Wow. This is a bit intense. This feels different than what I would normally expect from the Hanged Man. Not in a bad way, but there is more intensity here, because this is, there's this rope. This person is actually being hung, it looks like, from their neck with a spear in their stomach. That is quite intense, and I'm excited and curious to read about this depiction in the guidebook, because I imagine it's just a very powerful perspective, and one that like I think I'm feeling the connection for sure to the Hanged Man, and it feels a little bit like some of that for me anyway with this depiction, some of the harder, darker aspects of the Hanged Man, less about, let's look at things from a bit of a different perspective and like take a pause, and more of that like how, how are you being like alienated or sacrificed, or like what is, yeah, more in that direction, which, yeah, again, I'll have to read about it, but interesting. Yeah. And then we have death. Oh, that's pretty. The pomegranate there definitely feels like some sort of processing that's happening. This pop of color makes it feel like there's some intensity there, reflection. Yeah, beautiful. Temperance. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, this definitely goes a little bit away from what I might expect for temperance, but it makes sense. And I do love that different perspectives on the cards, because it just gives opportunity for going deeper. And that is really, feels like it would be a cool like tattoo or something. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got, just like with the lovers, we've got four different options for the devil. And there's definitely, it's like juxtaposed to the lovers. It's like the same or similar scene, but with more awareness of what might be lurking in, around them. So like in the first one was just this, the two people making out, but in this one, like the snakes coming in. Same with this one. Um, and then loving like those two lovebirds with the cat looking up at them. And in all of these situations, it seems like they're totally unaware of the danger. And I'm looking forward to like layering in some of that um, perspective with the, you know, my interpretations of the devil. And then with this one, interestingly, more so than the other two, these two are like very aware and almost like being taunted by or tempted by that snake. So that's interesting. And yeah, those are awesome. Cool. Ooh, the tower. Ooh, that's, yeah, intense. That is certainly a tower moment. And these people just like sitting there watching. It almost gives me the feeling of, like in a drive-through movie theater where you're like set up with your car and you've got your popcorn, you've got your radio on, like listening to the audio of the movie and then just watching it. It kind of feels like that. I don't know that that would be part of Eric's interpretation, but like just watching it all go down, because sometimes that's all you can really do. Once that explosion happens, it's out of your hands. The star. Okay. So it looks like the same, I'm assuming the same card. Oh, now I'm wondering, is this the front or the back of the car? I suppose it's hard to tell. This, I want to say that's the back though. Like, are they driving away or are they parked there watching? I feel like that they're parked there watching, but in any case, in the star, it looks like they're now driving. So the aftermath of that tower moment has, you know, that initial aftermath has passed, and now it's like, okay, what's next? And driving through this like darkness with all these stars, and um, you know, it's a nice vibe. The moon, classic, beautiful. Love the moon phases there. I really like this artwork. Very well done. The sun. Oh, cool. So this is like zoomed right out, solar system view, like, you know, is this Earth? So we're like looking at our own solar system and where like Earth is in relation to the sun, all the other planets. And that's cool because sometimes for me anyway, like thinking about the universe and like really zooming out helps me find more joy, and like just really understanding that like my life is meaningless basically, and that it's up to me to find the joy and find the meaning, because I am just this little speck of nothingness floating around in the universe. And for me that feeling is comforting. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but I like that. I like to think about that. I haven't thought about that from the sun perspective before. um anyway, yeah, cool. Judgment. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got the scales again. That like a little caterpillar and a butterfly. Makes me think of like potential. Yeah, nice. And the world. Beautiful. Tree of life kind of vibe. Very magical. Okay, that's the major arcana. And we're getting into the wands now. So we have the Ace of Wands, magic hat, very, oh, it's awesome, with like this wand with star on top. That looks like something that you would, you know, traipsing through the woods as a kid, would find a stick that looked like it had a star on the end and just like run around in the forest with just wielding all the magic that you have in your mind, and full of potential. And that's what comes up for me there. Two of Wands. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like, it's such an interesting perspective because it's got this landscape, but like it's this like perspective of this hand with, well, depending on how you look at this giant, is this a protractor? Compass. Yeah. um Coming down and like mapping it out. But is it the protract or the compass in the hand that are huge, or is it the landscape that's small? I don't know. I like the perspective. It like gives that similar perspective of the sun, of like zooming out, but it's also zooming in at the same time. Anyway, it's cool. Three of Wands, ships are setting sail. We've got that like wand with the star vibe again. I don't know why, it just like that gives me childhood vibes. I definitely had like a little magic wand that was just like, you know, the stem of it was like wound with ribbon, and I think it was just like a plastic, you know, I don't know, classic toy you would give to a little girl, at least in the 90s. So that's what it makes me think of. um, Four of Wands, celebration time. Five of Wands. Hmm. Those birds look like they're getting into it. Got feathers flying all around. Doesn't look like they're in, like big danger, but they're having some sort of spat above this marsh. Maybe they're fighting for this area. Maybe it's good fishing water or something. Six of Wands, carousel, sweet. Yeah, this too is definitely feels nostalgic. I'm feeling like this deck for me, is like an interesting combination of like that activism, like modern day diversity mixed with like throwbacks to childhood. Um, and I am digging that. Seven of Wands. Oh no, look at the snake. You got to protect your berries or just protect yourself. Eight of Wands. Ooh, look at that energy. Yeah, that's big energy. That's a big bonfire. Nine of Wands. Ooh. Depending on the perspective, I mean, this feels like this person might be guarding whatever's on this side of the bridge while these people approach. Or is that person with all of them and they're all defending the bridge? To me, the stances really feel like this person's a bit on their own. This bridge has seen younger days, been there a while. Ten of Wands. Oh, yeah, that looks like a heavy load. It gives me the feeling of like living in a log cabin in the winter and having to go collect firewood and haul it home and chop it up because if you don't do that, you're frozen. So you got to do it, but it's hard work. And it's easier, it's a lighter load if you have someone to share that load with for sure. That's what it makes me think of. Page of Wands. Magical. Knight of Wands. Taking a selfie. Huh, funny. Queen of Wands. Oh, kitty cat. I don't know if this is the intention, but this feels like a granite cemetery marker in this cat guarding their maybe the human from a past life. I don't know that that's the intention, but I like that. King of Wands. Oh, cool. Yeah, we see the symbolism. The cat and the queen, the salamander and the king painting their own crown or a crown that they're wishing that, or maybe they don't need the crown, but they know that they have the stability of that King of Wands energy or the fierceness. Okay, cups. I'm just like having such a good time. I don't know what y'all are doing right now, but I hope you're having a good time too. Oh, I forgot I have tea. Thanks, Ace of Cups, for reminding me. Beautiful. Two of Cups. You got your iced coffee, you got your hot coffee. that feels, I don't know why that gives me queer vibes with the iced coffee. Um, and I like this card. It's cool. Three of Cups, all sharing and filling each other's cups. The Five of Cups. Eric must love cats. I didn't know this about Eric because I don't know him, but that is great because the Five of Cups. Oh, sorry, Four of Cups. Right? Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Makes sense for the Four of Cups, just like swatting away the cup. No, thank you. There's the five. Set in the cemetery. That's interesting because I'm not seeing water in any of these dishes, but there is that aspect of grief and, like processing and the growth that happens through it. And yeah, interesting. Six, little tea party. Gotta love a tea party. Seven of Cups. Oh yeah. Ooh. We've got our, usual, well, not usual. It's not usual, but we've got our cups down here, and then we've got this cauldron that's just like on fire and just like magical potion concoction. Something is happening here. It's a big energy. And this person is like, it's like they've just poured something into the cauldron that's made it like explode. So that's makes me think of like, being mindful of what you choose, which cup you choose, because there's impacts on how, the chemistry of it all, I guess, or the alchemy. Eight of Cups. Yep. Hmm. This is interesting and evocative. These cups are broken and they've like sunk to the bottom of the lake, or I'm seeing this as a lake. That boat looks like a lake boat. I don't know why. Um, we don't always see like broken cups in the eight, but I do appreciate that because sometimes Eight of Cups moments do involve walking away from things that feel broken, for sure. Nine of Cups. Oh yeah. Lush, beautiful, abundant, all of the things. 10 of Cups. Aw, look at these monkeys. And this beautiful waterfall and just overflowing, and that looks like a good time. I love it. They look happy. They have what they need. We've got the Page of Cups. Nice. Yep. Knight of Cups. Cool. Oops. Queen. Little Mermaid vibes. Just mermaid vibes. I don't know why I'm dropping the cards. Sorry. This underwater like magical realm. I love it. It's Cute little turtle swimming, these fishies, and the King of Cups. The kings in this deck are interesting. King just fishing off a wharf. I imagine people when they're like fishing are feeling pretty content. Like that's something that makes them feel whole and like things are right. I don't fish. This is my assumption of people who throw lines off docks. Like that's a fairly peaceful time. Okay, we're getting into the swords. Ace of Swords. Maybe this is where the Arthurian legend vibes come in. Two. Aw. They look like they're fighting that moment when you're trying to make a decision and you're just like, your mind is just like in a bit of conflict, not sure what to do, not sure which way to go. You just gotta trust the path. Three of Swords. Oh no. I don't know why oh no. It just looks like these, where Norwale? Again, species identification, not what I'm here for, but these whales with swords on their noses. Excuse me. It looks like they're trying to like spear this bird. We've got a couple feathers flying, but the bird doesn't look like it's been speared yet. So, but potential for that for sure. Four of Swords. Oh, yeah. That looks restful. Taking a breather. Five of Swords. Ooh, a sword swallowing wolf like creature. Huh. That's chained. Looks chained. Interesting. I'm curious to hear Eric's interpretation of this one. I mean, I can definitely feel the conflict, and I'd love to, read more on that one. Six of Swords. Oh yeah. This person with their, looks like baby, getting out of there. They're in very rough waters too. They've got their eyes set, hopefully, towards calmer waters. Definitely on a mission. Seven of Swords. I'm going to be honest, the Seven of Swords is still a card that trips me up. And I think it's because I'm resistant to that idea of, well, like the traditional, some of the traditional keywords from Smith Waite of like deceit and betrayal and where that fits into my practice. And this one feels like, this sword up here has created this crack in the earth that all of these other swords are falling down. I think I can work with that. And that it's often one of the first passages in a new guidebook that I read because I'm still really searching for how this fits for me. And I've been reading tarot for, a while. But I would say this card probably is the hardest one for me still. Eight of Swords. Ooh. In the magic box. Probably feeling pretty trapped in there. But it's a magic box. There's always a way out. Nine of Swords. Imagining, like in the traditional depiction, the swords are on the wall beside the bed. Like these swords hanging. I'm imagining like above the bed how unnerving that would be. They look really sharp. Aw, the Ten of Swords. I don't know what kind of insect this is, but they are not okay. New beginnings ahead, hopefully, for, I don't know. There isn't always a positive spin on the Ten of Swords, right? Other than just like the end of a cycle and just like, it's done. It's done. It looks done. Page of Swords. Some sort of initiation there for sure. The Knight. Beautiful crow. The sword's definitely gone to battle. Got all kinds of nicks and stuff in it. Queen of Swords. Ooh. Badass, as usual. Big fan of the Queen of Swords in particular. King of Swords. Oh, yeah. It's like the moment before the crowning of the king. The sword and the stone, you know, which was one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid. I didn't know, you know, the Arthurian legends, and I still don't really very well, but I really liked that movie. It was just, it felt magical. And then we're on to the final suit, the Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, planting a seed, it looks like. Already got some sprouts growing. Or plucking or planting. Two of Pentacles, that is balance right there. Lots of appreciation and admiration for people who can balance like this in this way on lines and for real, like in real life. Just balancing is hard. Three of Pentacles. Ooh, beautiful. That's teamwork for sure. Can't deny it. The five. Oh, it's the Roman numerals. I'm like iffy on them. I can most of the time tell. Four of Pentacles. This is clearly a Four of Pentacles. What a sweet little dragon. Clutching its treasures. Holding on for dear life. Five of Pentacles. Huh. Interesting. There's these flies on, are these peaches or apples? Apparently my fruit identification isn't great either. Flies landing on these fruits, which makes me think of the, you know, them spoiling or being planted with larvae and rotting on the branch while they're still on the branch. Six of Pentacles. Nice. I love the spacey coloring of this. It's so pretty. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, embroidery. Cool. You got to be patient to do embroidery. I do embroidery myself. I'm a, you know, newer. I've been only doing it for a couple of years, but you really have to be patient and like trust the process, because it takes a minute for that to actually start looking like something that you want to hang up. Eight of Pentacles. Forging steel or something, some sort of metal. Nice. Nine of Pentacles. I would, yeah, like be stoked if that was my castle. You know, it's hard enough these days to even just find a rental with a decent income that you can afford. But hey, let's dream big. Let's dream for the castle still. This is me. This is me. I have like we have like a room for rent in this little hut down here. I'm just kidding. We have a nice home, but still, it's that's a hard attainment these days if we're thinking about it in like what's the word? Like if we're thinking about it and actually trying to get that castle, but it's not just about that, is it? And 10 gathered around this big beautiful tree, fruit bearing tree. You got your dog and family and community, and yeah, it's nice. Page of Pentacles, cute little piggy bank, saving for a rainy day. It's raining today, actually. Knight of Pentacles. Aw, the lucky cat. I love these. They're so cute. Did I say Knight of Pentacles out loud already? Queen of Pentacles. Aw, a hairless cat with her 3 little kittens. Nurturing them, caring for them. Nice. And the King of Pentacles. That looks like a very serious king. Like holding the world by the hand, like his hand, in his hand. And the dragon has like antlers or something. That's probably not what they're called. Cool. Amazing. And then this is the, oh, there's two extra cards, the witch. So this is like an additional bonus card that comes in the second edition. One of them is, you know, the tarot reader, and one of them is feels more like the querent, which is very neat. I love that. Cool. Oh my goodness, this video is probably so long. If you're still here, wow. Extra card. Thank you. Uh, I appreciate you sticking around while I explore this because like I said, I'm having just the best time. And if nobody else watches this, that's fine with me because, you know, that's not really what it's about for me. So, but if you're here, bonus. So I'm going to open up the expansion packs to take a quick look just so that we, you know, do the whole thing. Let's just do the whole process. Okay, so we've got the Inkwitch first edition and second edition. So let's start with the first. So these are alternate cards for like alternate artwork. So we've got the High Priestess. We can swap these out. Oh, Stonewall, beautiful. Justice. I mean, this is what I think that's what this is. The Tower. Cool. Knight of Wands. Or was it the Knight of Wands that was with taking the selfie? Okay, so if we're not into that, we can swap it out. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Okay. Beautiful. 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups. I am wondering if some of this is also the older artwork, like the first edition artwork. 10 of Cups. I actually, yeah, maybe that is what, I'm not sure actually. King of Swords. But that's the vibe I'm getting. 7 of Pentacles, because it's like they're very similar depictions, but like from a bit of a different perspective, bit of a different angle. 10 of Pentacles. Oh yeah, okay. Queen of Pentacles. Still a cat, but there's no kittens. And King of Pentacles. Okay. I think for the most part, I do like this priest. I'll probably change out the High Priestess because I don't really get, know chess. That was a good one though. I might consider swapping some of these out, or like, here and there, swapping them out just as a different option. It's good to have. And then in the second expansion, we have different names. So I want to guess that they are, in some cases, like non-binary or non-gendered names, or just different names altogether. So the seer for the High Priestess, again, the seer for the High Priestess, cultivation for the Empress, structure for the Emperor, the teacher for the Hierophant. I like that. I will probably change that. The Hanged One instead of the Hanged Man. I'm gonna have a look at the guidebook because when I went through the first time, that Hanged One image was interesting to me. It's cool that they have an alternative. Guardian of Wands instead of the Queen. Sovereign of Wands instead of the King. Guardian of Cups. Excuse me. Guardian of Cups instead of the Queen. Sovereign of Cups instead of the King. And so on and so forth. Guardian of Swords. Sovereign of Swords. Guardian of Pentacles. Sovereign of Pentacles. So in some cases, the artwork is also different. In some cases, the artwork is the same. So that's neat. There's so many options. I'm glad that I got the expansion packs. It just gives more options, right? So let's do a quick shuffle, and I'm going to draw a card so that we can have a peek in the guidebook. So this cardstock is, this is printed by Make Playing Cards. I believe it's standard tarot size. So if we take like this is a Smithwaite Centennial, they're identical. So standard tarot size. It is printed on the standard smooth cardstock with MCP game card finish. So it's like a semi-matte finish, easy to shuffle. And apparently I've never had my hands on the original or the first edition, but it's apparently the same specs as that. So let's give it a shuffle. I'm actually going to move these out of the way. Oh yeah, that's a nice shuffle for sure. Oh yeah. I love shuffling. I shuffle just to shuffle a lot of the time. Overhand wise, yeah, lovely. So depending on if you're a riffler or an overhand shuffler, both are wonderful. And then let's do that. Oh, very nice. And then let's pick a card here. The Four of Cups. Okay. Let's find that in the guidebook here. All right, Four of Cups. So in the guidebook, it shows both of the artworks, the expansion pack artwork and the second edition, the one that it comes with. So we have an upright keywords, reverse keywords. We have a chunk in terms of interpretation. We have a reversed interpretation, and then we also have information about the drawing and had the thought process behind the artwork, which is great. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because this video is already 17 hours long, but just to give you an idea of some of the keywords for upright, we have unsatisfied, apathy, reevaluation, daydreams, and boredom. Reversed, we have restlessness, withdrawal, retreat. And I'll just read this first little bit here to see what we have. And it says, when the Four of Cups card appears, it is usually to indicate a lack of interest or satisfaction in the things around you. It could be telling you that something you desire or need is right in front of you, but you don't see it. Or perhaps the answers you've been getting are not the ones you've wanted. And so you're ignoring them in hopes that something better will eventually come along. Yeah, great. Sounds totally aligned with my understanding of Four of Cups. And then Eric talks about, on this card, I've drawn a cat toppling a glass cup off a table. The cat is not only ignoring the other 3 cups, but also the plethora of insects lying all around it. So that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to being able to see. I want to just look at the Hanged Man. Okay, in the original Inkwitch deck, the Hanged Man depicts the Norse god Odin having been hanged from the world tree, Yggdrasil, though even the oldest Hanged Man cards are sometimes believed to be associated with the story of Odin. Okay, so this is Norse mythology. That's helpful to know. Great. I'm definitely looking forward to digging more into this guidebook. This is amazing. Yeah, overall, I am super happy with this deck and so glad that I got my hands on it. I do believe that that you can still order this deck even if you missed out on the Kickstarter. So if you Google, I'll try to track down the link and share it below. But if you Google Inkwitch Tarot Kickstarter, last time I checked that page, there was actually a link that you could go purchase this deck now that the Kickstarter is done. But no promises. But I love it. So thank you, Eric, for creating such an amazing deck. And to anybody that actually watched this video, thank you for hanging out with me for all of this time. It's been great. And if you're interested in hearing more from me, my channels will primarily be tarot. I think at this point, it's a very new channel, but that's my biggest, I want to say it's like one of my biggest passions literally in life. So if that aligns with what you've got going on, then subscribe, and I look forward to other videos in the future. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.